Hey guys, how you doing? Happy Wednesday. Thanks for joining me. If you're joining me live, just have a little something I want to share with you. So this morning I had a doctor's appointment, and this is the first time I went to the doctor in about a year and a half or so for a checkup. So last year, those of you that know me. I've been going through some personal challenges as far as things that I used to do normally. It just doesn't come that easily to me, and it could be age. Who knows? I just had a birthday last week, and those of you that wish me happy birthday, thank you again. But anyways, went to see the doctor, and I was relating to. It was a new doctor as well. It was actually it's kind of interesting because last Friday I was going to make a doctor's appointment because I've been having some problems with my hands. So I had an arm injury a couple years back that kind of put me on the sideline as far as my bowling goals that I had. My average was pretty good. I was somewhere in the 220s. However, I had an arm injury, and that caused me to basically kind of cut back on my goals of what I wanted to do with bowling. So anyways, I was still doing all right until about a year ago. About a year ago, my bowling started to get worse. So those of you that knows me, they've been asking me to, what's going on? Why am I not bowling as good as I used to? And my answer to them is I really don't know. So, and it's the truth. I don't know what happened, but to something that should be normal, just like riding a bike, to where you can get on the bike and start riding it, even if you haven't done it for quite a few years. For myself, it doesn't come so easily anymore. So anyways, my average went from 225 to where now I struggle to even shoot a 150 on a regular basis. It's not something I'm proud of, but it's something that I need to be aware of. There's something going on. So anyways, another thing with that is I've been having some pain in my hands quite a bit. And I related that to the doctor. So he's going to do some checkups. I had blood work done. We're going to do some MRIs just to make sure everything is good. But for the most part, he had me do some stretches and move my hands and different things, and everything seems to be fine. But what was really interesting is not so much a doctor's visit. And thanks for joining me live. But it was more of what happened while I was waiting for the doctor during the visit. When he stepped out of the room. So I happened to have with me not only my phone, but I didn't have very good connection. So I brought this book along. And if you can't read it, it says live 1,000 years. And at the bottom it says have the time of your life. And I started reading this a couple weeks back. But I was just going through pages here and there. And I had started, I probably read about 2 chapters, but I went back to the beginning. And what's interesting about this book, I'm not going to say the whole thing in case you want to read it, but this one gentleman, he's busy with life. And he seems to be a successful person, and he's on the way to a meeting. And while he's on the way to the meeting, he's running late. He's sitting in the cab. He decides not to wait till he gets to his destination. So he gets out of the cab and decides to walk the rest of the way. While he's walking, he sees a clock shop, and he notices that there's a man in the front, and the men greeted him, and he said we should take time to talk. Well, the gentleman kind of looked. I mean, the person on the way to the meeting, he just kept on going, and then he kept on walking. Then he was almost at the meeting, realized he was running late. He only had about a minute left. So when he looked at his stopwatch, which was from his grandfather, the stopwatch had stopped at 11:59, and his meeting was at 12 o'clock. So he didn't quite understand what was going on, but when he looked around him, not only did his watch stop, but everything else stopped in the whole city. The cars, buses, people, everything stopped around him. He was the only one moving. So he thought back about what he saw when he was walking by the shop, all these clocks, and the gentleman that said they should take time to talk. So he, turned around, made his way back to the clock shop, and looked at the window, and all the clocks had stopped at 11:59. All right, so where's this going? So he walks into the shop, And he sees the same old gentleman there, and he noticed that he had not stopped like the rest of the world basically around him. And it gets to the point to where the person in the shop says that he stopped the time, and he did that for a good reason. And he was trying to make the person realize that in his life he was always thinking about trying to just make money and thinking about himself and trying to get better, but he forgot about the people around him. So he realized that you need to take time for those around you, and you have to take time to realize what it is that you're actually working for all the time, right? So anyways, so the book goes through, and it keeps going. There's a few more chapters that I read. It's actually pretty good. Anyways, so at the end of the book, it has 12 chimes, and it's a chime because part of the story is that the gentleman in the shop, he removed all the hours from his stopwatch, and he said that you have to recreate your time, and it's pretty cool because they have the 12 times here. And I know I don't want to make this too long of a video, so if you want to find out what these things are to reset the clock in your life, just send me a message. I'm also going to be creating a blog post regarding what I read, and I'm going to throw a few of the chapters in there, not the whole book. So be sure to watch for that. I'm going to put it as a link to my blog post on this description of this video as well. So anyways, thanks for joining me. Hope you have a great day, good lunch, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.